This young lady has a message to the men.
Okay, we need to normalize guys approaching girls at the gym because right now it's just awkward for everyone.
I've been seeing a lot of videos with women saying this, but I'm going to go ahead and translate what she's actually trying to say.
There will be a guy I see every day. We make eye contact. We do the little half smile thing, and then nothing ever happens.
So there's some guy in the gym. He's 6'8", built like LeBron James. They make eye contact and they smile at each other every day. And because of that, she feels special, not knowing he's making eye contact and smiling at a lot of girls in the gym because he's 6'8" and built like LeBron James.
This goes on for weeks. At that point, we're basically coworkers. I'm not asking to be hit on mid-squat or anything, but if you catch me between sets and just say hi, that's not weird. What's weird is pretending we don't recognize each other after making eye contact 40 times. Like, grow a pair and come talk to me.
So fellas, let me be clear on what she's saying. She wants that guy to come talk to her, not you. Don't you go walking over there. You're going to end up on a TikTok video. When these women say this, they are talking to specific men. They're not talking to all of us. So do not get tricked. Do not get fooled. Don't let her shame you into doing it, trying to make us feel like we're weak if we don't go over there and talk to her. She's not talking to us. She is talking to him. And most of these women making these videos, they are talking to specific men. They're not talking to the rest of us. This is why you see some women online saying, don't talk to us, and other women saying, talk to us. Because the women who are saying don't talk to us, those are the regular men approaching. The women who are saying come talk to us, those are the good looking men that they want to approach. So don't get it twisted, fellas. I'm just trying to save you some time. That's all I'm doing.
To the women who liked to date men, and only women who like to date men only, this message is for you. If you are not a woman who enjoys or wants to date a man, then keep on scrolling. My rent is $6,000. My nails, $150. My hair, $300 minimum. All right. My facials, at least $200, $250. So I pay for all this myself. I do not expect a man to take care of this for me because he is my partner, not my father. All right. I think the men have left now. Ladies, when a man invites you over to his apartment or his house for the first time, please rob him. Please understand that this man wants you to rob him.
This is why I say women hate other women. And this is why you don't take advice from a lot of these women that you see online. Because what she's telling other women to do is to rob somebody so they can go to jail. God forbid, if he ever had camera of you stealing, you're fucked. I'm telling you, women hate women. They do, because then you wouldn't give some dumb advice like that.
What happened to men pursuing girls?
What happened? Why aren't men pursuing women anymore? Honestly, I don't know why women keep asking this question over and over. But let's see if we can try and explain it to them one more time. But let's be honest, though, the answers we're giving them are going to go in one ear and right out the other, because the reality is they don't really want to know what men actually think. They just want men to validate what they think is the reason, even though it's completely wrong. So why are men not approaching women anymore? Well, to quote an old guy from a few hundred years ago, let me count the ways. And I'm going to give you the 3 biggest reasons why men have stopped approaching. Number 1, because there's nothing to be gained in doing so. Sorry, ladies, but men have figured out that while you think you can have all the insane expectations in the world, you know, like if he isn't 6 feet tall with 6-pack abs and a 6-figure income, you also tell us,
we'll be at a function like this. I'm talking about overly loaded, and niggas still won't walk up and talk to nobody. Like, what the f*** you giving me a tripod, y'all? Like, what the f*** you came here for? Just not to talk to nobody?
Yo, I keep seeing this all over TikTok, social media. Women are asking, why don't men approach anymore? You want to know why? Because a lot of us got trained not to. Simple as that. I mean, yeah, back in the day, men would walk up, shoot their shot, take a risk. Cool. But now you approach the wrong one at the wrong time. Now all of a sudden, you weird, you creepy, you doing too much. I'm not talking about dudes being disrespectful. Nah, I'm talking about just saying, hey, how you doing? Now it's, I got a boyfriend. Why are you talking to me? You get posted online like you did something wrong. So after a while, dudes start thinking, why even risk it? Why even put yourself out there to be embarrassed or be labeled as something that you're not? Now, don't get it twisted. There is some weird dudes out there. I get why some women got that guard up, but not every man approaching you is on that type of time. So now we in this weird space where women are like, they want to be approached, and men are like, nah, I'm good. And then everybody's wondering, why don't nobody talk to each other anymore? I'm just saying, it goes both ways.
What happened to men pursuing girls? When was the pivotal moment that a man chose to not go after a girl anymore or put in any effort? It seems like guys can just put the bare minimum and not even really put in effort anymore. They don't really care to. Or they're like, why don't girls just go and make the first move and make the effort? When did it become a thing? Now it's like role reversal where they expect girls to be making the first moves, yearning for a guy and chasing him. That is, I feel like, the downfall of why it's so hard to meet someone, because men don't put in effort anymore, don't care to put in effort. And a relationship won't work unless the guy likes the girl just a tiny little bit more. He has to like her just the tiniest bit more for it to work in the long haul. So it would make sense if a guy really wanted to get to know you, that he would go leaps and bounds to get to know you. And when did that shift?
Because if a man persisted like that in today's dating world, he would at the very least be called a creep. And at the worst, he'd be going to jail. That is the reality that a lot of men face. So that, in combination with the fact that women are not really reciprocating effort and they're not treating men very well right now, there is a large group of men that are saying that it's just not worth it. And they would say that women have asked for it. They have asked men to leave them alone. So guess what, ladies? They're leaving you alone.
The world would be a much better place if women shot their shot more. Now, granted, women do approach men. They do text first, right? But if they did it to the degree where they did that for every man that they've ever wanted, they would probably be in way more satisfactory relationships. Because a lot of what we see are relationships where somebody feels like they're settling. And when somebody feels like they're settling, they'll just start doing more. That just kills the relationship either way. Now, technically, women do shoot their shot, but they do it in their own weird little way. Aside from the direct, like texting somebody first or actually contacting one person first, they do it in those subtle ways where you would never guess. Like, they look at you more than twice. They give you immense eye contact when you guys don't know each other. She puts herself in your vicinity, in your area, so she is available to talk to. She puts down her phone. She takes off her earbuds. It'd be indirect like that, right? We've all experienced the text first. We've all experienced the just hitting up first and those indirect signs. But if more women walked up to the men that they find attractive and they shot their shot, they would probably have a much happier dating life, because they would be 100% from, nope, they would be 90% from the field. I understand women do go up and approach men that they really want or that they find attractive, but they don't do it to the degree of men. If they did it more, I promise you they would have satisfactory results. The crazy thing is, women are so used to it, they see that as a normal interaction. If they were to do that to a man, that would make a man's year, that would make a man's life. He would remember that for the rest of their life. That's not something you just forget, because that is rare for a man to experience. Men will remember that regardless of what the woman looks like. There have been some women that have approached me that I did not find attractive, that were not my type. And there were some that I actually did like, that I did find attractive. But no matter what, I never forgot any of those experiences. Why? Because it is more rare for that to happen to a man in real life than anywhere else. You remember that for the rest of your life. Join the Discord. You guys have a great day, night, whenever you see this.
Everyone says men become mean when they stop loving you. But what if the truth is he just became tired? A lot of men are called toxic or heartless when they start pulling away. But
Many times what's really happening is that the man has already been emotionally exhausted for a long time.
men are not always loud about their pain. They don't always explain every feeling the way women do. Many men try to fix things quietly, tolerate things quietly, and carry the pressure silently. When a man finally becomes distant, colder, or less patient, people assume he suddenly changed. But most of the time, he didn't change overnight.
He just reached the point where he stopped fighting for something he felt he was losing anyway. A man who feels constantly disrespected, unheard, or unappreciated doesn't always know how to communicate that in long emotional conversations. He withdraws. His energy changes, not because he wants to hurt you, but because he's tired of feeling like the villain in a story he feels he has been trying to save.
And the truth is, men leave for peace too. Just like women, men also want respect, calm, loyalty, and emotional safety. Yeah. When a man feels like every conversation turns into conflict, every mistake turns into judgment, and every effort goes unnoticed, something inside him starts to close. Mm-hmm.
So when he becomes quieter, colder, or distant, sometimes it's not cruelty. Sometimes it's exhaustion.
Because a man doesn't always leave when the relationship ends.
Sometimes he leaves long before that. The moment he realizes the place he was trying to build peace has turned into a place where he constantly feels at war.
A lot of these modern women really don't care how you feel. They don't care what's going on with you. Just pay my bills. That's it. Just pay my bills. I don't care nothing about how you feel, how you express your emotions. I don't care about that. I just need you to pay my bills. Just give me this paycheck. Just give me the money. That's it. And that's how modern women treat men all of the time. So a lot of men step back. A lot of them do quit. A lot of them do give up. But it's, oh man, you just quit. You never even fought for us. That's the line. That's the type of stupid stuff that modern women say after they just got through disrespecting the man. What are you talking about right now? You just got through talking to me. So, yeah, but I was upset. And, people just get upset, but that's no reason to leave. Right. But you would leave me if I was talking to you sideways. And not only would you leave me if I was talking to you sideways, you'd leave the first time. Modern women want men to endure years of them talking sideways to a man before a man says, you know what? I think we should go to therapy. Notice I said therapy and not leave. Well, let's go to therapy to see if I can let's go to therapy to see if somebody outside the home can get me back in my place, because I'm not listening to you. And hopefully we can. I know we're on the rocks, but let's pray to God and see if he can fix it. How come we weren't doing that before? How come you weren't doing that before? If you knew you had a bad attitude, how come you weren't controlling your tongue in the first place? Exactly. You don't want to hear that. You just want to talk stupid. And then when somebody about to leave you and your paycheck about to walk out the door, now you want to fix your problem.
Wonder why women are able to get over a relationship so quickly? How they're able to just monkey branch the next guy, not even give it a thought? Meanwhile, the guy's heart is broken and they just are cold-blooded? You guys ever wonder why? I'll tell you why. It's a biological imperative, my friends. Okay, it's called Briffel's Law. Basically, once the man stops providing value to her, she's going to end the relationship. Okay? The formation of the relationship and the existence of the relationship is basically based on the female's needs and if they're still being met. If they're not, the relationship more than likely will end. Because like I've told you guys before, women are professional and biological resource extractors. If they're no longer able to extract from you, the time is ticking and they will leave. And this is a very uncomfortable reality that we don't teach young men. Briffel's Law, also known as Briffel's Law of the animal family, states that in animal society, the female, not the male, determines the conditions of family life. This means that if the female doesn't see a benefit in associating with the male, no such association will occur. Burn this into your brain, guys. Briffel's Law, also known as Briffel's Law of the animal family, states that in animal societies, the female, not the male, determines the conditions of family life. This means that if the female doesn't see a benefit in associating with the male, no such association will occur. In essence, the female's needs and preferences dictate the social structure and relationships within a species. Okay? You guys got to burn this to your brain. Okay? This law right here is going to keep you from simping. This law right here is going to aware you on how women really move. So when they break up with you and you're sitting there crying, wondering why are they so cold-blooded?
Yo, entitlement be having these average-looking women talking crazy.
So I paid for Hinge X and I literally ran out of people on day one. I paid for whatever the most expensive Hinge membership is. I did 1 week and I'm pretty sure it's Hinge X, but whatever the $25 a week one is, I paid for 1 week. I ran out of people in 1 day. I have only had the membership for 1 day and it's already saying, oops, we're out of people. Change your parameters. You know what my parameters are? My parameters are 6'2" and above, anywhere between age 29 and 34. And then I bumped it up to 35, ran out of people again. How is there no one between the ages of 29 and 35, 6'2" and above in LA? This is one of the biggest cities ever. I don't know if I'm just not attractive attracted to the people that they're showing me. Like, they weren't cute. They weren't cute. I'm gonna be so honest. But I like tried to give a few people a chance. I think I sent maybe 2 or 3 likes out of everyone, and I've already ran out of people. It's day 1. I keep going back to the app. There's no more people. How?
Yo, the entitlement with this woman is insane. She needs Invisalign more than she needs a dude above 6'2". Like, I don't think she understands, like, 6'2" and above, it's like 4%. It's not that much of the population, especially your age range is between 29 and like 35. And then she says, these guys are not even cute. Yo, shorty, you are average at best. The entitlement and free attention just overinflate this ego. This is like a drive-through McDonald's worker applying for a CEO job of a company and wondering why the math is not adding up. The expectations with this one are insane, so your options shrink, but the expectations don't. Like, she has to understand, even Hinge is telling her, yo, you need to change your parameters. Like, yeah, because you are overinflating what the hell you looking for. I don't know how tall she is, but I doubt she needs a dude over 6'2". And then she's thinking she looks crazy good. It's because dudes be giving chicks like this, average women, free attention, and they're like, yeah, I'm the shit. And she got that syndrome right now. Not for nothing with the grill that she got. She's only getting back shots because I don't even want to look at you.
If a guy does any of these things on a first date, he does not deserve a second one. Disclaimer, these are all my opinions. Totally fine if you're a girl and you have lower standards. And before the guys get super emotional in the comments, there are women out there that will be fine with below the bare minimum, so don't take this video to heart. Number 1, if he doesn't offer to pick you up or send you a car to bring you to the date. Girls need to realize that you shouldn't be spending a single penny. It's not just about him paying for your food. If you don't want to get into his car, that's totally fine. Make him get you an Uber. If he disagrees, don't even go on the date. 2, if he takes you to a chain restaurant. I don't even need to elaborate on this. A high-value man is not going to take you to Red Lobster, okay? Number 3, if he talks too much about himself and he doesn't ask questions about you. You know those guys, when they ask you a question, it's always a question that they eventually want to answer. They really don't care about what you have going on in your life. 4, if he doesn't compliment you. First thing a guy should do when he sees you is compliment you. You just spent probably 2-3 hours to get ready. Those kind of guys give like, they're uncomfortable giving out compliments because of their ego. Number 5, he's too touchy-feely or he starts speaking about like sexual stuff. Huge red flag. He's trying to test the waters to see how open you are to the idea of potentially getting laid. If he asks you to come to his place, he does not want to show you his home decor. He doesn't want to play the piano for you. He wants to get laid. Be for real. And last, if he doesn't text you if you got home safe. If he doesn't text you asking you if you got home safe, even if he literally dropped you off at your front door, he doesn't care if you live or. Let me know some of your deal breakers in the comments below. Bye!
Well, if he drops you off at your front door, then he knows that you're home safe. I'm pretty sure he's gonna wait to see you go in the house. Why the would he text you again and be like, are you home safe? He just dropped you off, you dumb f***. Like, what the it's a... Fool! My goodness, fool.
You mad that your man look like you now? Confused, emotional, don't know left to right. He became a reflection of you. You know, this is why men have to stay strong and they cannot fall into a woman. Men, do not identify yourself in her emotions because she's confused. She don't know. Women don't know. We don't know who we are, what we want, what we need. We don't know. Majority of us do not know, truly. You know what I'm saying? We need someone to tell us. We generally just want to be happy, and we don't know what happiness is. Like, we don't know. But men do. Men know that, oh, she needs security, safety, structure. She needs routine, you know? She needs community. Things need to be calm for her, which means I have to get myself together. I need to make sure I can provide and give her a life of comfort. So right now, she's not going to get certain emotional needs met because I got to go out and work. I mean, you guys know. You guys know. Okay, I want men that's watching this to tap into them instincts, man. You know what we need. But what happens is you hear your woman whining and crying, and that she's over here and wants this and that and all this other stuff. But you know what she actually generally needs, so she could feel comforted. But when you fall into a woman's love, like you're falling in love to her love is confusion, is chaotic, it's here, there. Valentine's Day she wants this, Christmas she wants that, birthday she wants this, and then on Tuesday, Wednesday she wants space. You know, on her period she hates you, you're terrible to her. Like, she'll know. So what you need to do is just create a system where there's order. This is routine for her of how things are going to go. Do not keep revolving
your life around her emotions. Do not do that, or else you are going to become like the woman. You're going to become confused. Does that make sense? You're going to be confused with your life. You're going to lose yourself. You're going to have identity issues. She withdraws her love from you and then gives it back. And you're identifying yourself in that, like you're craving her love. And every time she withdraws it, you want it. You know what I'm saying? Or you match her energy and now you're withdrawing her love from her. Now you become like a woman. You know, manipulative, like a woman. Men aren't manipulative. Like their natural state, they really just do want peace. And the love they have for a woman is what causes them to become just like her. Did God really tell about this man? My God.
Do all men think kindness is flirting? Oh my God.
Now I know what I'm about to say is going to be a truly radical idea, and there will be some out there that really do have difficulty wrapping their minds around this concept. But it is still not all men. Imagine. However, I will say, in this case, there are some men out there who unfortunately do tend to mistake kindness for flirting. But if a person is wondering how that could possibly be, how could a man mistake simple kindness or politeness or even a compliment for flirting? Well, the reason is actually very simple, if a person just takes a moment to think about it. How often do you think a man, outside of his immediate family, receives any sort of kindness or any kind of compliment at all from a woman who ultimately, well, doesn't want something?
Well, Paul, I'm really glad the Bible tells women to dress modestly and cover up, but I wish they would listen more. Now, that's interesting because that's not what modesty means in the Bible. What do you mean? Of course it is. Modesty means not showing skin. Not according to what I wrote. Biblical modesty was about status, not skin. Okay, that doesn't make any sense. Where are you getting this? Well, look at what I actually wrote. 1 Timothy 2:9 talks about women not dressing with gold, pearls, or expensive clothes. Peter says the same thing in 1 Peter chapter 3. So, jewelry? Wealth. In the ancient world, clothing was a social weapon. You wore your riches on your body to signal power, superiority, and class. But what about temptation? The Bible never says that women are responsible for managing men's desires. Jesus places responsibility on the one who looks, not the one being looked at. So modesty isn't about covering up, hiding your body. No, it's about not flaunting privilege. It's a warning against pride, not a dress code. But what about not causing a brother to stumble? Yeah, that's their responsibility. Your responsibility is if your eye causes you to sin, gouge it out.
At some point in time, hey, listen, I'm not sure what Bible he's reading, but we have to stop. We gotta stop. We can't keep on letting these modern women skate by on no accountability. No accountability. Well, the Bible places the onus or the imperative on the person that's looking. No. No, it doesn't. If anything, it's on both of them. You, as the Bible talks about, should not want to be a stumbling block. Let's go ahead and look that up. And I'm looking at it, even him say, well, you know what about, yeah, that's a responsibility. Yes. So the Bible does place the onus on you not to go out there and be a stumbling block. A stumbling block could mean a plethora of things. If you go out there, say for instance, my dad went out there. They used to play basketball a lot, right? And, just it's talk trash. It's a part of the game to talk trash, right? And he used to, have talking trash really bad. And he just started going to church. So, got back out there and started talking trash again. Well, man started going off, going crazy. And it really made the man mad. And so my dad had to kind of back up and say, hey, maybe I shouldn't be doing that. We're all trying to do the right thing. We're trying to go in the right direction. And honestly, yes, he needs to control his attitude, but I don't need to be the one egging him on. I'm provoking him. The Bible even talks about in other passages, parents don't provoke your children. well, you don't need to disobey me. I should be able to. No, don't provoke your children. Stop bothering them. Stop messing with them like that. That don't mean that you can't go in there and discipline them, but you out here making people mad. You've been a stumbling block. So yes, we have to talk about, and when we talk about modesty, yes, it could be flaunting your wealth and your status. The Bible talks about, can't remember, James or something like that. Vanity talks about being vain, or I look at myself, I like the way that I look. You need to do things, you need to come back down. The Bible talks about how Jesus was born in the world. Nobody knew him. He had no reputation. It was a very humble beginning, meek and lowly, as it talks about. Meek and lowly doesn't mean you wearing rags. It just means I'm not out here trying to pull attention to me. I'm not trying to pull eyes to me. So yes, sir, absolutely. She would be responsible for going in there and getting a dress that pulls attention to her. Are we forgetting that Jezebel ever existed? This is what I'm saying. There's too many examples and too many passages. I mean, my God, Delilah was doing the same thing to Samson when she went out there, and I know he likes the way I look, and I'm going to keep on putting that stuff on. Whenever I get, now it was his responsibility to avoid that, and he did. He allowed the temptation to overcome him. Hey, we're not doing this. I'm not giving you what's mine. You're not getting any of my secrets. That's what he should have said, but he didn't, because he was worried about her beauty, how good she looked. I don't know what he was doing, but that's what he was worried about. Right? So we see these women out here doing things to attract, to lure, and not in a good way. That's their fault. At some point in time, we gotta give the accountability back to the woman, please.
These aren't rules for women. They're standards for my time. You're free to do whatever you want. These are mine. If I plan a date and something comes up, that's fine. No problem. But it's on you to offer the next availability. I lead. I don't chase. Early dating is not sponsorship. If you're asking me to fund basics that you should already be doing, we're not aligned. I'm not looking for a woman to pay, but I am looking to see if you want to contribute. Your effort matters and will be noticed. And I'm not even going to let you pay, but I want to see you offer. At some point, I want to hear you say the words thank you to either me or the waitstaff. Just once, at least once. Gratitude costs nothing, and it shows everything. If I offer to pick you up or to send a car, I expect you to be ready on time. Respect for time is respect for the person. I live an active life. If movement or working out together feels like a chore, we are not compatible. I don't need constant texting, but I do need mutual effort. There's a difference between being busy and being disengaged. Basic hygiene is not negotiable. It's not about perfection. It's about self-respect. I'm drawn to feminine, warm, nurturing energy. That's not something I teach. It's something I notice. And this one matters. I don't date women who don't take accountability. If everything is always everyone else's fault, there will be no future. Growth requires responsibility on both sides. These aren't demands, they're filters. And the right woman doesn't argue with standards. She fits them.
I'm not wrong for thinking this chick is crazy being married, right?
What's your name?
Huh?
What's your name?
I'm Jazz.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
Dior.
you.
Where you from?
I'm from Texas.
Texas?
Yeah.
What part? Houston?
Hell no.
Hell no. You said hell no. You don't like Houston?
I'm just not from Houston.
Nah, you look amazing.
Oh, thank you.
You live out here?
Huh?
You live out here?
No, with my sister.
You have Instagram I can get?
I can't. My
Why?
husband will whip my ass. I'm married.
You got a husband?
I'm married.
Where your ring at?
Huh?
Where your ring
I
at?
took it off. I don't need to wear it.
You took it off.
I took it off.
Why you took your ring
I'm
off?
on vacation. Why do I need to wear a ring on vacation?
Yo, there's no way you gonna tell me this is a good wife right here. Not only is she entertaining dude, but she shook his hand, giving him the time of day. Like for me, real wives don't play that, bro. They like leave people on red in person. They straight up ignore them. And if it gets to that point, yo, leave me alone before I scream, or I'm married, leave me alone. Like they just walk away from the situation. They don't entertain at all. This chick telling them where she lives, all this she entertaining them. And then he asked for her IG and she's like, nah, my husband will whoop my I mean, if your husband FaceTimes you and find out you're not wearing your ring, he's not going to whoop your. Because that's the next thing. He was like, yo, you not wearing no ring? She's like, nah, man, I'm on vacation. I took it off. Like, I'm not going to wear my ring on vacation. Like, you're not going to represent that you married on vacation? Like, nah, when I'm on vacation, I'm not married no more. Like, this is the type of chick this is. Like, maybe he wasn't that dude, but guaranteed if the right dude came along, her type of dude that looked the way she wanted him to look and be how she wanted him to be, oh yeah, she not married. Nah, we good. I'm on vacation. I could do what I want. Then I go back home to my husband. These are the chicks you got to watch out for. I can't believe she's even married. Her husband must not be that kind of dude with good discernment. Hell no. Like he said, oh, you look good. That's it. Good time, not a long time. You do not marry good time, but not a long time. This is just a fact. You leave them chicks in the streets, bro.
Okay, so there are a decent number of profiles like this. Okay, 31, female, based in the US, event coordinator, average looking in my opinion, and wearing heavy makeup with false lashes in all of her photos, including the casual ones. Here are some excerpts of her profile. I would like someone who is physically my type, attractive, fit, full head of hair, 5'11" or above, at least an 8 or 9 out of 10. Looks matter to me. He must be educated and have a stable job well into 6 figures. Someone who is emotionally intelligent and a high value man who understands the worth of a woman in a relationship. I won't tolerate anyone who does not know how to treat someone like a lady. I have high standards and I'm not interested in anyone who is trying to lower my standards. Now, this person is rejected because I don't think that the person that she wants will want her back. I mean, I've already seen profiles like this, and she doesn't meet their requirements. But what's very interesting to me is this discourse about trying to lower my standards. I've actually seen that sentiment a bunch of times in my comment section, and I don't actually know what that means. I think it's a very weird thing to say. Like, what do you mean other people are trying to lower your standards? Nobody cares what your standards are, and nobody cares even more to try and lower them. This is a free market, so you can have all of the standards that you want. You can ask for a billionaire if you want, but people also have to choose you. Now, as a matchmaker, I can factually tell you that based on what you're looking for, those people who do meet your requirements, whether or not they would want you back or not. So at some point, especially for someone in my position, it's simply about reality. And what I would say to this person is, hold on to your standards. Hold on to them tight and find yourself someone.
I'm not ready for a relationship. What do you mean? We met on a dating app. I mean, like, what exactly were you ready for? A group project? A pen pal? Because I don't remember the app having a trauma recovery networking section, okay? You can't swipe right, match, flirt for 3 weeks, and then suddenly hit me with, I'm just not in the right place mentally. Oh, really? Because your bio said looking for something real. Okay, not looking to waste time until I heal from Chad. All right, so don't get me wrong, I respect honesty, but maybe say that before we start trauma bonding over childhood pets and favorite pizza toppings. Not after I already introduced you to my emotional stability, okay? And then they always act like it's deep, like, yeah, I just need to focus on me right now. Okay, cool, but could you have focused on you without using me as your practice boyfriend? All right, so yeah, I'm not ready for a relationship, but you were ready to text 24/7, share playlists, and tell me about your attachment style. Interesting. Okay, so stop saying you're not ready. Just say you got bored. It's fine. And it's cheaper than therapy.
Boys choose easier relationships. Men choose relationships that require growth. That difference shows up the moment effort is needed. When plans need to be followed through, when words need to turn into actions, when consistency is expected without reminders. Growth does not demand perfection, it demands responsibility. A woman with standards does not chase clarity. She does not beg for consistency. She does not lower herself to keep him comfortable. She expects maturity, and that expectation filters boys out immediately. Men who are ready to rise, boys look for what feels easier. Easy forgiveness, easy excuses, an easy life with no expectations. And when they cannot meet her, they give it a name. She is too much. Not because she is, but because meeting her would require more than they are willing to give. Here's the part women need to hear. When a man disappears, the moment you stop making it easy, he did not lose interest. He lost cover. And if your standards make him feel like a boy, It's because he never chose to become a man.
If a man has no friends, pay attention. If a man has no friends or only a very small circle, do not get it twisted. That is not a red flag. That is a man who has mastered himself.
Yeah.
A man without friends or with a very small circle is a very secure man. He has learned that quality matters more than quantity, and he does not need an audience to validate his worth. His confidence comes from inside, not from the approval of others. He is not afraid to be alone because he knows his own strength. He is very selective with his energy and with who he lets into his life, and that is a good quality to have. He walks away from drama and gossip because he has built a peaceful life for himself and does not want to let that go. He does not need to be surrounded by people to feel complete. He is comfortable, he is grounded, he is steady, and he does not waste time on meaningless relationships. He knows what he wants, and he does not waste time chasing things that do not matter. So if you come across a man with very few friends or a very small circle, do not underestimate him. That is not loneliness, that is discipline. He knows peace, it is not isolation, that is self-mastery. And men like that are the hardest ones to replace.
The most expensive type of woman is the one who's not going to ask you for money. She's not going to ask you to pay her bills. She's not going to ask you to fund her lifestyle. She's not going to ask you to pay her rent. She's not going to ask you for her money, for her nails, for her hair, none of that. And that is because she can do all of those things on her own. Women nowadays are more financially independent than ever before throughout history. Women who operate like this, they're looking for things that cost a lot more than money. They're looking for loyalty. They're looking for respect. They're looking for open communication. They're looking for reciprocity. They're looking for a man to match her energy, to see her eye to eye, and to be on her level. To a woman like that, money comes and goes and it's whatever because she already has it on her own. She ain't looking for that. She's looking for emotional stability. She's looking for loyalty, a masculine presence, and a man who's emotionally intelligent. She is not out here looking for a provider. You think she's looking for that. She's already her own provider and she's doing it well. So a woman like this is going to cost you a lot more than the woman who's asking you for money. She is looking for a man who matches her. Not her bank account, but her standards, her character, her vision, and her level of self-awareness.
You know, I really do find it funny that these modern women can continue to tell men, you know, this is what makes you a man. And this is what makes you a boy. A man would do this. A boy would do that. Y'all don't know your head from a hole in the ground. You don't even know who you are. A lot of these modern women are out here are in their 40s and 50s still trying to figure out what they want to do and what they want to be in life. Being a whole career. I still don't know what I want to do with my life. I still don't know who I am. I recently started watching this show and it told me about all I needed to be and who I might be. And, you know, it's just been a godsend. And so now I know who I am. You're 55. You were supposed to have that figured out 30 years ago. Maybe even part of the way. What are you doing right now? Wasting time, which is what most modern women do. They're wasting time. They walk around, I'm just a girl doing nothing, head full of air, mind full of air. And then finally, when they get out on their own, well, I just decided to divorce my husband. I just decided to go over here and do this. I'd never find a man because I don't need one. Airheaded. Don't know who you are, talking silly, but want to tell a man, oh, this is what you need to do to be a man in my eyes. Shut up.
Men, beware of your wife's single friends. Men, listen up. Your wife's single friends, they will sabotage your marriage if you let it. They sneak in, they whisper, and they poison. Before you know it, your marriage is breaking down. And you think I'm exaggerating and I'm doing this for likes? No, here are some facts. Studies show that divorce spreads like a virus through social networks. If a friend gets divorced, your odds of divorcing jump up to 75%. Let me repeat, your odds of divorcing jump 75% if her bestie gets divorced. Drill this into your brain. Single women are keeping women single. Peer influence is real. She will prioritize her bestie's feelings over yours, especially if her crew is full of divorcees. They're not healing. They're recruiting. Girl, you deserve better. Girl, oh my gosh, I can't believe he said that to you. Oh my goodness, he is so controlling. Sound familiar? Friends, divorces make divorce seem normal and less stigmatized. Divorcees get together, pulling each other down. They don't care about your kids, your mortgage, or your future. They want her single, swiping, and miserable with them. Protect your marriage, my dudes. Vet those friends ASAP. If her friends is single and salty, red flags. Cut them off or watch your wife join the divorce club. Divorce is contagious, so protect what is yours.
The only way this relationship has any chance at surviving is if you start to be honest. You would have already left if you didn't have hope. So that tells me you want this to work somehow. The only way that can ever happen is through respectful, vulnerable honesty. And you telling them, this relationship doesn't work for me. Is that hard? Absolutely. Welcome to the fork in the road. We either move in a healthier direction together, or as difficult as it is, I move in a healthier direction by leaving. And there's still a lot of healing that needs to take place. But you have to come to the place where you're okay if this relationship ends. And even more, this relationship has to end. We can either build another relationship together as a team, or I have to leave. But either way, this relationship is dead. This relationship, with all its toxicity, is gone. I will no longer tolerate either of us showing up in destructive ways that hurt each other. I will no longer shove my feelings down because I know now that they only come back out in other destructive ways. I will no longer make excuses for either of us. We're both either going to do better or I'm going to do better on my own. I will not have a relationship where someone constantly criticizes me or makes fun of me or invalidates or dismisses my feelings or just plain ignores how I feel loved. It's just not going to happen. I'm going to start being respectfully vulnerable and honest about my feelings and needs. And I'm going to put distance between people in my life who punish me for doing that.
Me acting like I want a relationship, but in reality, I'm enjoying being single. I'll say things like, oh, it would be nice to have someone, and then immediately enjoy my peace and forget all about that. I like the idea of a relationship and the highlights, the good parts, the Instagram version, but then someone texts too much and I remember who I am. Being single is quiet, no explanations, no compromises, no what's wrong when nothing's wrong. I don't miss dating. I miss potential. I like knowing I could fall in love without actually doing it. So yeah, I talk about wanting a relationship like it's a future project, not urgent. There's no deadline, just a vague general dream. If I'm single, relaxed, and unbothered, it's not loneliness. Okay, I'm not avoiding love. I'm just very comfortable being alone after years of practice.
Oh my God, there's no way. You can't be single. You got to have a secret woman. Oh my God, you're so handsome. You have a good job. Because they want slaves. Women don't want partners, baby girl. Okay, listen to me. Women don't want partners. They want slaves. ATMs. Do I look, man? I know I got some broad shoulders. I hit the gym. Now I ain't no ATM. You feel me? My money. You know what I'm saying? We ain't doing all that. He don't spend it on me. I'm not gonna spend it on you. Get your own. I'll spend it on my wife, and none of y'all got wifey material characteristics. So as far as I've seen, yes, I will continue to be single. I'm happy being single without the headaches. So stop asking me. Smart men are single. Trust me.
So stop acting like you want to be alone. You don't have a choice. And I hate when a says, oh, I'm single by choice. No, you're not. You're single by choices. You're single by the choices that you make. You chose to have multiple kids with multiple. That's why you're single. You chose to hang out with single, bitter. That's why you're single. You chose to stay in a relationship with and now you are traumatized for life because of that. That's why you're single. All of these are choices. Okay. You're not choosing to be single. And for you that want to convince me and anybody else that you can have any man you want, where is he? Go get him. Exactly. You over here choosing to work on your career and focus on your career rather than focusing on building a healthy relationship with somebody. That's why you're single, bitch. By choices, not by choice. So stop acting like you want to be alone. You don't have a choice.
Dating nowadays is so weird. Everybody's dating for help, dating to finesse somebody. Don't nobody actually like them for them. They just see an opportunity. They either see money or they just see the aspect of them. They don't actually see a future with them. Everybody's just living in the moment with their partner. That's what it seemed like. That's why I'm still single and I'm not rushing into no relationship. You got to actually fill out what people trying to do nowadays. It don't seem like any relationships are genuine. They're just there to use a motherfucker for whatever they there for. And once that's done and used up, they on to the next thing. Is there anybody out there that's genuinely looking for someone that sees potential and sees at least 20 years down the road with this person? Or is everybody just dating for right now?
Men do not date. Dating is for women. And she calls it getting to know each other. Wrong. It's an audition. A lion does not schedule interviews with meat. He already knows he likes the meat when he saw it. What are you even talking about with the woman anyway? Please. Weak men date because they want approval. If you keep playing the dating game, you're just choosing to be evaluated. And the men who get evaluated rarely get chosen. Cheers.
So you approach him with a relationship and you're just like, hey, what are we doing? Are you ever going to make a commitment? And he's like, I can't give you what you need. I can't give you that right now, but I don't want to hold you back. If you need to go out and find somebody for you, I'm cool with that. So you like, bet. All right, let's cut this off. And then he goes, no. That's not what I wanted. I mean, we could still talk and be cool, right? Sound familiar? Hi, my name is Tasia. I'm a confidence and dating coach, and I teach women how to control their emotions so that their emotions don't control them, okay? I pray that you've been on this page long enough so that you're not thinking like, oh, he's fighting for me. He doesn't want this to end. He really does like me and want to be with me. No, sweetheart. He's trying to see if you're dumb enough to accept the lower wager. He's trying to see if you're dumb enough to accept the lower wager, okay? And the moment that you do, the moment that you continue talking to him and rolling around with him and getting into that man's bed, all right, is the moment that you'll never get a higher wager ever again. So what should you do, you said? I'm glad you asked. You're going to take your stuff, okay? You're take it. You're going to pack it up, right? And you're going to take your... You're going to leave, all right? You're going to lock the door behind you, and you're going to find a man that's going to come to your side of the street. And if you want to know how to get a man on your side of the street, comment join below to join my secret girls chat. Bye now.
If a man is telling you he's not ready for a relationship, yet he wants to hang out with you all the time, he wants your body, he wants to be all in your face and all in your space, he wants your time and your energy, sweetie, he is using you. And as a woman, if you are willing to give all of yourself to a man who is not willing to take you serious and commit to you and truly value you as the woman that you know that you are, baby, you gotta love yourself more. The scary part is as long as you allow this man to have his way with you, girl, you will wake up, it'll be 5 years down the road. And you still in this same little situationship with this man. He's still telling you he ain't ready for a relationship. But it's like at that point, why would he even want a relationship? He's already reaping all the benefits of a relationship without the commitment, without the ring. Do not let these men use you. Be smart. Value yourself more. Somebody is out there pissed that every time they go to your page, they don't see no signs of weakness, failure, sadness.
I think the issue, once again, with these, well, you got to value yourself and you got to pack it up. These modern women do value themselves. That's why they be with the men that they're with, because they think that this man is up to par. I love myself. I'm looking at, modern women want to look good. So I'm going to get a guy that, not only does he look good, he looks ultra good. He's the cream of the crop. Even though men are saying you don't really need the cream of the crop. You need somebody that is on your level. You need somebody that understands what you're going through, understands your specific issues, not only understands them, says, you know what, I'm willing to take this journey with you. Modern women, and that's why you got to coach them out of that foolishness. Modern women be in these relationships where people then told them to move, get out. That man don't like you. You don't need to be there. But he was so hot. Once again, there's a Netflix series about this. They blame it on the man, but when you listen to their story, it's really them staying with men who they have no business staying with. But he's so incredibly hot. All of the girls liked him. So they don't need any more coaching on finding a certain man. They know what the man is that they need to be with. They just don't care to be with him. They want to be with a Chad or Tyrone.